Hello, everybody. Welcome to Oil Camp. I'm really excited to share with you the topic that we have today. We're talking about advanced essential oil application techniques for massage therapy. Now, this isn't just for the professional, but also for the novice. Okay, so in spas, yes, absolutely wonderful, and we'll talk about that. But it's so simple that it can be done at home as well. And so I'm excited about this because there's so many great possibilities for these oils to be powerfully reach so many people just by learning some of these simple techniques and having some of these resources. So I have my volunteer here, Sarah. Sarah, wave, say hi.
Hi.
So she's volunteered to be my guinea pig, and I'm going to be showing you some of these different things, and a little bit shortened version of it because of time. And for more details on that, I'm going to have a more in-depth live workshop posted here where we'll actually be going through some of the different techniques in more in depth. Okay, so if you're interested in that, definitely let me know. But for tonight, I want you to learn these techniques so that you can, one, learn how to create homeostasis within the body, so balance within the body. Two, have a means for having a targeted support. We'll talk more about that. And then three, for no matter wherever you're at, to feel empowered with being able to use these essential oils in an even more powerful way. Okay? So the two techniques that I'm going to be going over, so the two techniques are the Aromatouch Technique. Okay, this was developed by doTERRA, and it uses 8 different essential oils to create homeostasis within the body. The other one is going to be Symphony of Cells. All right, so Symphony of Cells was developed by Boyd Truman, and I recently went to his training on Symphony of Cells and was absolutely blown away. I've been showed the technique before. I've even done the technique before. And it wasn't until really going to the training that I saw how powerful this can be. And I went away thinking, I'm just one person, but how can I reach more people? How can this be used on a daily basis? I'm a full-time teacher, right? So I can't be doing this all day, every day. And then the light bulb went off. Massage therapists, body workers, they are working on people all day long. And so if I could get this information into their hands, it can impact so many lives. So that's why I'm doing this, and that's why I am so very excited. So if you are on my team, though, and in the Boise area, I would love to do one of these treatments on you. And massage therapists and body workers, too. Let me pamper you. You guys don't get pampered enough. So come on over. Okay, so I mean, many of us have experienced massage and know the powers of massage. Many massage therapists use essential oils, right? But what if they were using the most pure essential oils? What if they were using the most therapeutic essential oils? It would raise everything to another level. And that's what we're going to talk about today. Okay, so I am going to incorporate and this isn't often done. This is my kind of mixture here. I'm going to incorporate the Aromatouch technique. But then I'm also, we were talking a little bit, and I'm going to be doing, in a specific area of the Aromatouch technique, a Symphony of Cells application based on her goals, okay? And so she had some digestive goals, and so we picked the essential oils out that were applicable to that. And one of them I didn't have on hand. I think it's back at the house, actually, but I saw this as an opportunity to show you guys that even if you don't have the exact oil, we have a solution for that as well. So one of the things that I have people do at first, I have them, because we're all walking around every day and our feet kind of get grimy and things like that, and we are going to be applying essential oils to the back and to the feet. And so I give them one of these little On Guard sanitizing wipes to wipe their feet. And while she's doing that, I'll just point out some of the other additions that I have here. So I am also level 1 Reiki attuned. So I love to utilize Reiki as I'm doing Aromatouch and Symphony of Cells and with my oils in general. Now, as I'm describing stuff, I won't be able to focus as much. So sorry, you won't get like the full meal deal with this because I'm distracted. But typically, I'm also sending Reiki energy, and it's just a healing energy. When I do it towards my kids, I've described it to them. I'm praying towards you. All right. So I'm just sending good things towards that person. And I have these different crystals set up, these different stones, and it's different stones for different chakras. And it also has the symbol, you probably can't see it very well, I'm sorry. And it also has the symbol on the stones. And I like to have these set up on my bed on the regular where those chakras are typically lying, just to kind of energetically attune the space. Okay. And I'll show you, I'll actually apply these onto Sarah at a certain point. So you can get a kit with all these essential oils. It's the Aromatouch Technique Kit. So this is a great starter kit for those that are wanting to do this. And it comes with the 8 essential oils for the Aromatouch, along with fractionated coconut oil. And it's at a really good price point too. I think it's like $110, I believe. Don't quote me on that. But really good price point for these amazing essential oils. And some of the books that I also utilize when learning about essential oils is like Essential Oil Basics and then Essential Emotions for the emotional aspect of things. Now, emotions are also in this book, but this has a lot more of the physical aspects as well. Okay, so I'm going to have Sarah come and lay down here, keeping the robe on, face down here on top with the feet over the edge here. Okay.
My pants stands.
You said everything. I was waist up.
Oh, let me go put the one. You said everything on the top. I meant like the top layer.
Oh. So we almost got a picture there. So yeah, so since we're only doing from the back, like from the waist up, so just on the back and on the feet, it also, people are able to maintain really good modesty during this and yeah, and not feel, you know, overly, because you can feel uncomfortable at times. So.
All right.
And this is also nice with the little ones and such, being able to apply to their backs, just, you know, under their shirts and then onto their feet as well. Yeah. Cute leggings. Okay, so kind of tucking it under to protect her her clothes and things, so we don't get any oils and such all over the place. We will be exposing the feet here shortly, but for now we're going to keep them covered. So during the Aromatouch, one of the things that you want to do is to make sure that you maintain contact with the person that's receiving it, because it's a gift, right? It's a gift. And so maintaining that flow and maintaining that contact is really important. So I was trained by Dr. Hill himself. He is one of the founders of doTERRA essential oils and the creator of the Aromatouch technique. And I was actually in that first group that he trained all those years ago. So I feel very lucky to have learned both of these techniques from the inventors of them. So the first oil that you're going to start out with is lavender. So once you maintain that contact, you really want to, and I'm actually going to start with balance. I'm just feeling that right now. So you apply the oil all along the spine. Now, Sarah's familiar with oils. She uses oils on the regular. So I'm using quite a few drops here. But essential oils are really powerful. They're so concentrated that one drop can have a really big effect on people. So if they're not used to using this pure essential oil, then I'll even start them out with like one drop of each oil. And I will typically also, I even in the first step, apply a carrier oil to it as well. So in this step here, you're also centering over the heart chakra in circles that are counterclockwise, because then it's actually clockwise to them. Anyways, so just creating that rotation and that intention and connecting with them. And those of you that do body work, like you know how that feels. You know when you feel that connection with your child, with your loved one, and you can feel it. Once you know that you're there, drag out to both ends of the spine. So I'm right below her hairline, and then I'm right there near her sacrum. And connect there. Okay, now I'm going to apply lavender. So these first two steps are kind of calming the body, getting it ready to receive the different things that are involved here, that the essential oils are telling the body. These molecules, we grew up with these plants, right? We grew up with them. So they know, our body knows how to utilize them. So this is one of the steps within the Aromatouch. You're going to see me repeating quite a few things, quite a few little techniques here. And I'm going to maintain contact, and for now, kind of move the camera a little bit closer so that you guys can get a better view of what I'm doing. Contact. So we did the palm slides there. Just spreading the essential oils over the back. So most of us know that all of our nerves are going to be in our spine, right? And then they branch out to all the rest of the body. So by then moving essential oils over the rest of the back, you're able to stimulate some of those different nerves. Now, the next part, we start at the center of the spine at the bottom, and then start to drag up in this 5 zone, it's a 5-zone activation, and bringing all the way up to the occipital and then to the crown of the head. And then you move slightly out to zone 2, also moving out to the shoulders with that one. And I use a varying amount of pressure depending on the intention that I have at the moment, because those, depending on how much pressure you use, will activate different nerves. So sometimes I'm super gentle. Other times it's going to be a little deeper. Now with the lavender, you also want to come to the ears and do some ocular stimulation. So in the ocular, in the ears, so auricle stimulation, sorry, auricle. In the ears, you also kind of have a mat for the entire body. And so putting some essential oils on the ears can help stimulate those nerves all over the body as well. And very relaxing to have that stimulated. Okay, now part of, since we're combining the Aromatouch and the Symphony of Cells with this, one of the introductory oils that prepares the body is frankincense. And so I'm actually going to apply that now. And in the Symphony of Cells technique, you mainly apply almost every time in every protocol. There's many different protocols. Almost always goes mainly on the shoulders, and then you have them lift their head and smell and breathe in that frankincense. When you smell an essential oil, we're now kind of talking about 2 of the 3 ways that you can use essential oils. So one of the ways, topically, obviously, and you want to be really careful, of course, that you are using pure essential oils, right? And that you are being mindful of skin sensitivity. So like I said, she's experienced with oils, and so I don't have to worry about that as much, but I will always use, even on this step here, since we're going to be using the Symphony of Cells protocol throughout the rest of this, I'm going to apply fractionated coconut oil generously throughout her back. Now, this isn't typically a step done within the basic Aromatouch technique, unless it's needed. If you notice maybe some redness happening, a little bit of skin sensitivity, you can apply this. This will also allow me to work with some of the muscles that I feel might need a little extra care. Okay, so the next one, and with the Symphony of Cells, every oil you apply to the back, you also apply to the feet. Just real quickly, like so. So we'll just leave those guys open for now. The next oil in the Aromatouch is going to be Melaleuca or tea tree. Now, this is where, as you probably guessed if you're familiar with essential oils, we are helping and supporting the immune system. There's 2 different oils that we're going to use to support the immune system. The great things about essential oils, and specifically doTERRA with their potency, is that they're different from medications. A lot of the medications that we use to help fight off things and whatnot, they're soluble in just water, but our cells, the outer layer of our cells, that cell membrane, is actually made up of lipids. So it's a phospholipid bilayer. Science teacher, so I can speak out with this. And since essential oils are lipophilic, so they actually will dissolve in oil, blend with oil, they can get inside your cells. And so they're super effective, super powerful. So, sorry, hold on just a second. No, I'm not taking anyone. Okay, guys. Would you like me to take off my shoes? Looks like we have some guests coming in. Hi. So we're going through the Aromatouch technique, and we got our people via Zoom and all of that. And so I'm actually incorporating the Symphony of Cells technique along with the Aromatouch technique. Okay, so I'm into the second step of the Aromatouch technique, where we're utilizing the 2 oils that are for supporting the immune system. So I've already done the palm slide part of the Aromatouch technique, and now I'm into the 5-zone activation, and it's kind of a 2-stepper for each of the different ones. And sometimes we have some additional ones. So again, first, second, forth. I always kind of give a little bit of pressure when I feel tightness into the shoulders just to help relax those muscles and then time it. So, and all the instructions and things are also on the card that comes with this Aromatouch technique. So if you're ever wondering, like, okay, wait a minute, what was that? What am I supposed to do? Okay, no, yeah, I'm good, all right? But just make sure that if you are checking, that you're maintaining contact with that recipient so that you can continue that flow. All right, so the second one, which you probably guessed, is going to be on guard for that, that second immune system oil. Now, if you notice, I switched sides here, and I've got some of those different tips or like little tricks that I've kind of learned over the years with doing this that I feel kind of makes it a little more even, a little more effective, because if I'm spreading this oil over the back, and every single time, the first time, if I'm spreading it one way the first time, then most of that oil is always going to one side of the back, which makes it unbalanced. So of the two oils, I try to always go one side and then the other. Palm sides, each side. And this one, I do begin to kind of apply a little more pressure just to activate some of those different nerves and tell the body, hey, wake up. We got a lot of great info coming your way for you to heal yourself. 5-zone activation. Four. Now this is where you have a little bit added, coming down, and you're going to do some thumb walks. So starting at the base here near the sacrum and walking up on either side of the spine. This is also why I like to add that fractionated coconut oil in with the Aromatouch, even though it's not always called for at the beginning unless they have some skin sensitivity issues. That's already known. Now, Melaleuca, that first one that we did, that tea tree, can be, it's pretty easy on the skin. Like, but the On Guard with the cinnamon in there and different things like that, it can be a little sensitive for people. So that is definitely one, like if a person is not very familiar with oils, I haven't been using them, especially doTERRA's, because doTERRA's quality is, it knocks everybody else out of the park. And you might say, oh, well, you're a doTERRA person, you're just saying that. Well, actually, the science says it, the testing says it, the clinical studies says it, as they compare different essential oils and essential oil companies. And I don't need to name any names because the oils speak for themselves, right? And so you use them and you discover that they are more potent, they're more therapeutic. Okay, so we've done that for the immune system, and now we're going into helping with inflammation and helping support a healthy inflammatory response. Okay, so we're not saying, oh, the anti-inflammatory. Your body needs inflammation. It's a part of the healing process, but we want it to have a proper inflammatory response. And when the body can communicate with itself, it's able to do that. And when it has the tools it needs, it's able to do that. And this is also between these two oils, I have a little surprise for you guys. So the first oil for supporting the body's ability for proper inflammatory response is the Aromatouch Blend. Now this is, they call it massage in a bottle. It is so fantastic. So spreading out over the spine. I'm going to start this way with it since I'm on another set. And I can see where the oils are, and I do kind of push half, sort of. To one side. The wonderful oils in this blend are amazing for supporting circulation within the body and helping to decrease any discomfort. People that have severe issues with circulation, like in their feet, you apply this puppy on there liberally, massage the feet in, wrap it up in a warm towel, and it can be life-changing. I'll tell you that. And if I didn't have a hot towel, but I was doing a fair one year and saw this lady, and she was in clear pain, and I had her sit down and I rubbed her feet. And it was 107 that day. I was a little miserable, but the relief that she got, that was why I was there that day. So you noticed 5-zone activation. On sides. And they'll let's count. I'm not sure if that's 4 or 5, but that's okay. All right. And so the other one that you probably guessed is going to be deep blue. But before I do the deep blue, I'm going to now move to the Symphony of Cells oils to help with her digestive support. Because I noticed a lot of these in here, for instance, the Aromatouch is in here. So part of it is helping with that inflammatory response. So I'm going to incorporate these oils at this point to support what's going on there, okay? So I already did frankincense. I already did the carrier oil. So now I'm moving on to thyme. Now you'll notice that this is a lot faster. And since we are using a whole lot of oils and everything, I am simply going to use 1 drop. And now you might say, Lisa, that's not enough. Well, 1 drop has 40 million billion molecules in it. So yes, it's enough. Especially when you're working with a company that you know that every single time I open that bottle, it's going to have what it's supposed to have in there at the therapeutic levels that it should have and do what it should do every single time. Again, you're going to spread it out over the spine. And then you just simply rub it over the back. And then excess on the feet. That's it. Okay, guys? So thyme, turmeric, and onto the feet. The feet, if you're familiar with reflexology and things, which most of us are, the feet have the nerve endings for the whole body and 6,000 different nerve endings. And so it's also, like I was talking about with the ear and the back, it's a map for your body as well. Now, you can memorize all of them, and then you can like feel different things within the foot if you're like a real skilled reflexologist, and you can tell where people are having issues. That's not my place of expertise, but I am still able to simply apply these to the entire foot with the intention of healing, and the body's able to do with these oils what it will. We did Aromatouch, now we're moving on to Bergamot. This is an oil of self-love, which I find fascinating to be in that digestive protocol, since many times we're needing to practice more self-love towards ourselves in regards to our food, in regards to our digestion. Don't forget some of the tops of the feet, because that's where like the bronchial tubes and stuff like that are. And now I didn't have on hand, like I said, I didn't have coriander. It's up at the house. But I thought this would be a good opportunity to show you that you can go to the back of the book where they have, hi Dawn, where they have a substitution list. All right. So I can look up coriander, and it can be replaced with lavender, juniper berry, or cardamom. And I'm feeling, let's see here. Lavender's already been incorporated. And are you dealing with I'm thinking kind of a flushing, more of a flushing needs to happen. And so I'm feeling more of a juniper berry. I can find it. I just had it. Here you go. Juniper berry sitting right there on top saying, hello, I'm right here, silly lady. All right. There are some oils that I have like mental blocks against. I don't know what it is. I think clove. I knew I had clove. I knew I'd seen clove. I knew it was in my case. I could not see it. It was weird until I then opened a new bottle and then I found it. All right, so that was the juniper berry. And take that book real quick. I do have them lined up, but double check. All right, with Digestive Blend, Digest Zen, all things digestive. This little guy is a powerhouse. A lot of guys realize the power of essential oils with that little bottle, with this Digest Zen stuff. Stomach upset, rub it on, they're feeling better. They're like, wow, that voodoo stuff really works. Then we're going to go Geranium. So you guys can see, now, I didn't really think about it, but I applied the Geranium over her heart chakra area. It is a really good one for the heart chakra. And that's another thing with essential oils, like especially when you're doing I mean, the Aromatouch has some specific techniques and things like that, but especially with Symphony of Cells, like it's really hard to screw it up. It's really hard to screw it up. So you can see how you could quickly incorporate this into your massage practice like that, with almost no extra time added as well. Okay, so we've completed the Symphony of the Cells aspect of this treatment within the inflammatory, supporting a good inflammatory response of the Aromatouch. And so we're going to go back now and kind of seal the deal with the Aromatouch. So at the end, we have a citrus, so like lemon, wild orange, and peppermint, all right? And this is actually where I'm going to move to the feet, okay? So I'm gonna come back to the back. And so I'm not completely gonna untuck her and everything, but this is also where I like to place the stones over the different chakras. Now you have to balance them. So it might not be perfectly in that place, but you're setting that intention, right? To balance those different chakras, those different energy centers of the body. Heart chakra is really important these days, guys. I mean, it's always important, but it's cold on your neck. Hopefully it feels good. There's a lot of love needed in our world today. I placed the crown chakra stone on the crown chakra for a minute there. And then I just place it just above, kind of on the pillow. And then it's like, okay, everybody freeze, don't move. Well, we go through this next part. And sometimes they fall off, and that's absolutely fine. Okay, so grab my little card thing to show you guys, so that when you get your card, you kind of know what I'm talking about when you see these different things. Okay, so in these ones, you're applying the essential oils to the feet, and you are putting it all over, and you are kind of using some reflexology type of things on the feet through those kind of 5 zones, similar to how we had 5 zones on the back. We're going to have 5 zones on the feet. Okay, so the inner part would be the first zone to the big toe, and then kind of just drawing that line there. I'm just kind of showing you guys right now what those zones are. Always maintaining contact though, right? And then also you want to know where the where the heart is, to again connect with that heart chakra, because it's all about sending love, right? That's really where that healing comes from, in my own opinion. Okay, so we're going to start with one foot. And just have one drop, and you're going to do both of these, okay? Both of these oils, and you're rubbing it all over, just kind of getting it into those tissues, into the tissues, all over, even back there, connecting in. Okay, and then starting at the top, working down that first zone. I saw little crunchies in there. Some of my experts in the room could probably tell me a little bit about that. And this part, I mean, sometimes people are like, oh, man, it just takes so long. Because I do three passes on each zone. And then you go 3 or 2, 3, pulling down, okay? And then going to the next. And I feel that that kind of like finalizes everything. I've also considered, and some people do this, they'll use like a crystal point for this part as well. And I don't always follow because I want to make sure I'm getting all of those different points, right? So I'm following that general line, but I'm not in that exact place the whole time. To make sure I'm getting as many different points as I can. Apparently I'm long-winded. Sorry. I'm talking. Distracted. My first couple of years of doing this, I had the honor of working with a lady who was in some of her final days on earth of this existence for this turn around the sun, let's say. And some of the only relief that she would get was when I would come do the Aromatouch technique on her. I didn't have Symphony of Cells back then. I really wish I had had that. But there was a point where I wasn't able to work on her back. And so every single one of these oils, I applied to the feet. And I worked with the feet. And I sent love. And I'll always remember that the rest of my life. And to have that ability to serve in that capacity, I mean, like I said, I'm not a massage therapist. I'm not an esthetician. I have a degree in biology and chemistry, master's degree in education. I'm a science teacher, I'm a school teacher, right? But I was still able to serve in that capacity. That's why I teach this. So that we have the ability, more people have that ability to be there in those moments and serve. Do I do it perfect every time? No. Is that okay? Yeah. Because really, the power is in the touch, right? The power is in your intention. The power is in your love. The oils are a tool. The oils are a pathway for that to come through. And we all have our people, right? We all have the people that we are able to serve, that we are able to impact, that we are able to love on. And I can't reach the same people that you can, and you can't reach the same people that I can. And that's a beautiful thing, because then we can become this network as we're all serving together in our various ways with our various skills. And I'm talking. And just like with all of our different talents, just like in a symphony, in an orchestra, all of the different instruments, all of the different frequencies blend together to this beautiful thing that would not be the same if it was just the individual, right? And the same thing happens here within our communities, within our little family circles, as we join together and we serve and we love on people. And as we honor the symphony that's within each of us. That's why they called it the Symphony of Cells. If you're familiar with the book, and guilty, I have not read this book. I need to. Feelings Buried Alive Never Die. I think that's what it's called. Boyd Truman, the inventor of Symphony of Cells, his mom wrote that book. Amazing, amazing woman. Talk about a servant's heart. Oh my gosh. Okay. And so because of her love for health, and then also the passion for music that was within their family, that's how kind of Symphony of Cells was born, how it came to be, and the inspiration for that. I've got some reflexology people in the room, and they're probably giggling and go, oh my goodness, she's such a novice. But that's okay, right? That's okay. They're not giggling, but I'm sure there's so much I could learn about that. There's just so much to learn, guys. I love it. I love it. Never stop. Those of you that are joining us tonight, watching this replay later, thank you so much. Turn the camera a little bit again. So now we're going to use the same two oils on the back. Now, originally, I was taught to do like 8 drops of each oil. As you probably can imagine, 8 drops of peppermint onto an individual's back can be quite a bit. So I tend to stick with 1. I'm going to reconnect there. That first one. So lemon right now. Then I just do 1 drop of peppermint. Peppermint is at a lot of the ends of the Symphony of Cells protocol. And it's also at the end of the Aromatouch. It's very sealing. It's kind of a sealing oil kind of locks stuff in, not only physically, but with your intentions as well. So this one, I really go very, very gentle with the very last. Slides over, waking up that nervous system. Find some activation. Oh, so gently. Feels good. As we did at the beginning, finding that heart chakra, that connection. Moving to the end, so you're kind of initiating that. We initiated that parasympathetic. Now, at this point, you might be a little oil drunk. It's a lot of information that was just sent through their bodies. And even the veterans are like, whoo, that's I'm feeling it. I'm feeling it. And so you can let them get up kind of when they're ready. And like usual, you're going to be flushing out a lot of different things and whatnot. So giving them a nice glass of water with some citrus in it as well is fantastic. And you can also take, looking at the list of oils from the Symphony of Cells, look at those ones and see, okay, which ones are intended for internal purposes. And you can even offer to have them take several drops of those, like 3 of them in a capsule 1 or 2 times a day, like throughout the week. All right, maybe between those different treatment points. And so they're not, and not just having this big bombardment, they're having it throughout that time and having that intention with it as well. So yeah, that is how I incorporate the Aromatouch technique and the Symphony of Cells with different people that I work with. Is there any questions, concerns, comments? How you doing, hun?
So good.
Are you oil drunk?
Yeah.
And you know, sometimes you can maybe have a little bit of a headache come on. There might be some digestive flushing that happens as their body readjusts. So just be aware of that. Give them that heads up, and that can be completely natural, and sometimes it's what their body needs. All right, as they're flushing out those different toxins. Yeah. So any questions? Anybody online here have any questions? Oh, I had one chat. Sorry. They're jealous. Sarah's going to feel amazing. Yeah, she is. Anybody else? All right. So the one other benefit that I forgot to mention was the third way that we use essential oils. So we talked about applying them topically, talked about using them in the capsule, and this is only doTERRA's. Like they're the only company that has the quality standards, the proven quality to be taking them internally, okay? And amazing benefits, because then you have all 40 million trillion molecules coming into your body and giving your body the information it needs. The third way of using these oils is aromatically, so breathing them in like we're most used to, right? And it has a powerful emotional benefit. So of course, supporting the respiratory system, but also you have direct access from your nose into the limbic brain, which is the emotion center of the brain. And so as we breathe those in, we can find an emotional peace, we can find that emotional balance, even when the situation hasn't necessarily changed. That's powerful, right? Because when you can find that balance, then you can choose, then you can move into action how you intend to, not how you feel forced to, right? And then you're going about the creation of your life and not being tossed to and fro. So I hope you enjoyed tonight, you online people. And if you have any questions, just shoot me an email. I'm going to post this to YouTube as well. So if you're watching this on YouTube later, leave a comment below, and I would love to brainstorm with you and help you out in any way I can. So thanks, everybody. Bye. Stop recording.